Maybe you've just downloaded Phonon, or maybe you're just curious. Either way, today I'm going to guide you through high-level concepts and the Phonon workflow. Some of what you're going to see will be familiar from other audio workstations, and some will be new. Let's get started and make our first Phonon track from scratch. The Phonon window's most prominent feature is the arrangement view. It starts with several dedicated tracks in every project. The mixing console, the video track, yes, Phonon supports video, the visual graph track, and the performance track. Don't worry too much about those for now. We'll dive into them later and in depth in subsequent videos. On the left side of the screen is the track hierarchy. Unlike most DAWs, Phonon arranges tracks as top to bottom stacks of modules. Let's add a new MIDI track by right-clicking on Master and selecting Add Track. Next, let's right-click on our new track and add a module. Phonon ships with over 250 modules that cover synths, samplers, effects, drum machines, and more, but you can also load VST3 instruments through a dedicated module. I'm going to add a synthesizer called the preset machine. It's a good starting point. Next, I'm going to add something called a generator. Right-click on the track again, and this time go to Generators, Harmonic Follower. A generator is a special type of module that generates MIDI events. There are many types of generators, most of which are designed to simplify the process of making music. For example, the drum and bass generator generates drum and bass MIDI patterns that you can use to control a drum machine. You can use them or ignore them and program everything by hand. It's entirely up to you. We'll try that out later, but for now, let's try playing the track. You'll notice that the synthesizer we added has started arpeggiating. That's because the harmonic follower, like every module, is connected to something we call the Harmonic Engine. We'll open that up in a moment. First, let's double-click on the harmonic follower and our synthesizer. Take a moment to play around with the settings. Note that the harmonic follower sits above the synthesizer in our track hierarchy. Control signals, MIDI, and audio flow from the top of the module list to the bottom. Now, let's open the Harmonic Engine. You can find it at the top of the track hierarchy under the Structure folder. The Harmonic Engine is one of Phonon's defining features. The Harmonic Engine allows you to set key changes throughout your song that every module listens to. One source of truth, and every module listens. Every song starts with a sort of "Hello World" chord structure. Let's replace that. You can program in your own chord structures, but I'm going to save time and click on the Mood dropdown. Let's pick Awe-inspiring and hit Generate. This generates a chord structure that the track will follow. I'll hit Enter to return the playhead to the start of the track and play it again. You'll notice that the synthesizer, driven by the harmonic follower, is now playing different chords. The Harmonic Engine allows you to set different chord structures for different parts of your song. Right-click on the Song Structure track, this thinner track near the top of the arrangement view. Click Create Section. Now you can right-click on our new song section to change the section type, the time signature, or the BPM. I'll click on the song structure in the track hierarchy to show you. This is where you can set the Harmonic Engine bank used for that section of your song. Next, I want to show you the control rack. The control rack sits below the Harmonic Engine in the track hierarchy. The control rack works like CV, or control voltage, in a modular or Eurorack synthesizer setup. It consists of 64 sample-accurate modulation buses that route through every module in every track of your song. Let's right-click the control rack and add an LFO. An LFO, or low-frequency oscillator, generates a signal that wavers back and forth, allowing you to modulate the parameters of other modules. Now that I've added an LFO, I'll set its bus to one of the 64 modulation buses that route through the tracks. By default, the LFO was set to bus number 0. I'll change that to bus 16 for demonstration. Now I'm going to open the preset machine synthesizer we added earlier. I'll right-click on one of the controls, the low-pass filter cutoff, and select CV Modulate. I'll set it to bus 16 to match our LFO, and play the track again. Now, our LFO is modulating the cutoff parameter, as you can see. Virtually any knob you see in Phonon can be CV modulated, and there are many types of CV modulation modules. Now I'm going to right-click on the resonance knob and click Add Automation Lane. This creates an automation lane below your track in the arrangement view. I'll draw in some modulation points and press space to play the track again. You'll also notice that I'm going to drag the mouse over the thin loop track at the top of the arrangement view. This lets you temporarily loop over a section of your song while you're working on it. Since that was just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to remove the automation lane by right-clicking on it and selecting Delete Lane. Next, I'm going to mute the harmonic follower by right-clicking on it and selecting Mute. This will stop the MIDI signal from flowing into our synthesizer. Instead, I'm going to right-click on the track in the arrangement view and select Create Region. I'll double-click on the newly created region, resize it, and draw in some MIDI notes by hand. I drew these in randomly. It doesn't sound amazing, does it? Note that when we added the MIDI region to our track, it created a MIDI region module in the track hierarchy. I'll double-click on that module to open it, and now I can click on Quantize to Harmony. I'll select Chord Tones from the drop-down, and now the random notes I drew in will automatically snap themselves to the nearest tone that fits within the chord our song is playing in. That's the power of the Harmonic Engine at work. I'm also going to delete our synthesizer and replace it with another one dedicated to producing short, percussive synth sounds. Should I pick thonk or donk? Let's go with donk. I'm going to select the hard bounce preset. I'll double click on the gain module because that's a little loud. Now let's make a beat to go with our synth sound. I'm going to create a new track. I'll right click on it and rename it to drums. I'll also change the track color. There are many, many ways to make a beat in Phonon. Too many to go over in a single video. In another dedicated video, I'll guide you through more of them, but for now, I'll show you two beat making modules. The first thing I'm going to do is add a drum and bass generator from the generators list. If I can find it. There it is. The drum and bass generator will generate drum and bass MIDI patterns that we can send down the signal chain through some drum synths. I'm going to right-click on the track and add several drum synthesizers. A kick synthesizer, a hi-hat synth, a cymbal synth, and the combus snare, which is my personal favorite snare sound within Phonon. I'll adjust these to my liking, and we'll play the track to see how it sounds. That's a bit much. Let's start toning that down. I'll mute these tracks, isolate the kick, make sure I like it, and move on. I think I'll leave the cymbal muted for now. Let's mute the drum and bass generator, and instead I'm going to add drum machines, drum sequencer. I'll drag that to the top of the hierarchy, and this will let me program drums in a traditional sequencer. Great. Okay, not too bad for a few minutes of work. Next, I'm going to add another track, a new synthesizer called Honey, and another harmonic follower. I'll set the harmonic follower to chord sustained mode. Then I'm going to go into the control rack and add a sidechain module. By default, the sidechain module listens for MIDI signals on note 36, the standard kick drum. That's exactly what we want. I'll assign the sidechain to a bus. By default, it defaulted to bus 0, and connect it to our synth pad sound. Then I'm going to add one more track. Same pattern, but I'll put the harmonic follower into bass mode and add a dedicated bassline synth to fatten up the low end. You'll notice that I went into the gain module on the bass oscillator, set the CV for the volume to bus 0, the same as our sidechain, and set it to -5. That creates the ducking sound that you're hearing on the bass line. Now let's add an audio track. Same pattern. I'll right-click Master, select Add Audio Track. Now I'll drag in a vocal sample I pulled from Soundly. There are numerous non-destructive ways you can manipulate audio.
Welcome to your latest forecast from the Met Office.
I think I just want that part of the sample, so I'm going to right-click and select Slice at Playhead, then delete the rest of it. Now I'll double-click on the audio region and change the timing and pitch of different segments, just to show you what it's like.
Forecast from the Met Office.
Welcome to your latest
Forecast from the Met Office.
All of these changes are non-destructive and can be undone. Next, let's add an effect to our vocal sample. I'll right-click the track and add a plate reverb, which should give it a big spacey reverb wash.
Forecast from the Met Office. Forecast from the Met Office.
Now, let's play with the master bus. I'm going to right-click on the tuber console and add a compressor called the Freebaby, which is our master bus compressor. I'll turn down the gain so I don't blast your eardrums.
Forecast from the Met Office. Forecast from the Met Office. Forecast from the Met Office.
Just for fun, I'll also add a module to the master bus called the bus effect. This module is capable of manipulating the signal passing through the master bus in several ways. I'll right-click the tuber console in the arrangement view, I'll right-click the tuber console in the arrangement view, create a region, and set the region variation to 3. Now, when the track plays through that region, the entire song will be filtered through an effect. In this case, the audio from the previous bar will be played in reverse. The bus effect module is great for transitions between sections of your song. Let's try another one. The effects are listed here. My favorite is Chop. Chop takes the previous bar of audio and remixes it. I think that's a decent place to leave this track. I'm going to create a new project by pressing Ctrl-N and discard this one. It was just a demo anyway. When you do save your project, Phonon will create a directory named after your project wherever you save it, with a .phonon file at the heart. This is also where samples imported into your project get saved. So if you're going to be working with audio samples, it's recommended that you save your project before importing them. This time, I'm going to import a video file by dragging it from a folder on my computer onto the video track. Let's press play to see a bit of it. This is a video of a physics simulation I was working on. Next, I'm going to right-click on the visual graph track below the video track and click Add Visual Scene here. I'll expand the visual scene and double-click on it to open the visual graph editor. The visual graph editor and visual graph scenes are how you generate DJ-style visuals to accompany your music, all within one application. We're not going to spend too much time here, but just to show you how it works, I'll add an effect node and link the video output through it. You'll notice that the preview window at the bottom of the screen now shows the video being processed through the effect chain. These chains can be as complex as you want and can include video or be entirely generative. Most generators and effects in the visual graph are audio reactive, meaning that they change depending on what your music is doing. For advanced power users, there is a dedicated scripting language called glyphviz that allows you to write your own visual shaders that compile down to OpenGL. But we'll cover all of this in more detail in another video. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know the basics of Phonon, but there's so much more to discover. More than anything, we can't wait to see and hear what you make with it, so feel free to click the Discord link in the splash screen, join the community, and share your creations. From all of us at Aphelion Software, happy creating, have a great day, and be sure to subscribe to the Aphelion YouTube channel if you haven't already. We'll be uploading tutorial videos and deep dives into more complex features on a regular basis. Thank you.